Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in Caledon today for an exciting announcement on building Highway 413 with Mike Gallagher from Operating Engineers, Local 793, Jack Oliveira from Liuna 183, Joe Mancilanelli from Liuna International, Walid Abu Hamdi from the Ontario Road Builders Association, and labor leaders representing hundreds of thousands of workers across our province, as well as Mayor Brown and my fellow caucus members, including Minister Piccini, who's doing so much to help men and women in Ontario to find better jobs and bigger paychecks, and of course, Premier Doug Ford. In the last election, our government was given a historic mandate by the people of Ontario to build new roads, highways, and infrastructure in every corner of our province, from generational projects like 413 and the Bradford Bypass to the largest expansion of public transit in Canadian history. We have a responsibility to build Ontario for the next generation of young people, families, and businesses, and under the leadership of Premier Doug Ford, that's exactly we are doing. Last week, my colleague Minister Sakaria announced that starting July 12th, our government is raising the speed limit permanently from 100 kilometers per hour to 110 kilometers per hour on 10 additional sections of provincial highways in northern and southern Ontario. This common sense change is not only more convenient for drivers, it also helps align Ontario's speed limits with other provinces across Canada. And in the coming weeks and coming months, Ontarians will be hearing more about another major promise from Premier Ford and our government, bringing the Northlander back to Northern Ontario. Once reinstated, the Northlander train will connect people from downtown Toronto all the way to Timmins, while supporting our northern industries and providing a safe and reliable transportation option for communities in the north. With that said, I will turn it over to Mike.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's raining out, but as far as I'm concerned, this day here, the sun will always be shining for this announcement. I want to thank Premier Ford and his cabinet for this, doing what the other governments couldn't do and get this highway built. Get her done. That's what our Premier says. Get it done, and we couldn't agree more. I want to recognize all of our members, a lot of our members who have come out here, over here behind me, from the operating engineers and our apprentices that will be working on this project. And thanks everybody for coming out and supporting this. We are going to build it together. And I also want to recognize Liuna and all the members from Liuna that are also here joining us. And together we are going to build this big highway project, and we're going to do it safely. I wanted to recognize some of the associations here for coming out, and thank you. Nadia Todorova, Executive Director of the RCCAO. Go ahead and clap, it's okay. Nadia's everywhere, she works hard. Rally Chakarova, Executive Director of the Toronto Area Road Builders Association. Our friend Patrick McManus, Executive Director of the Greater Toronto Sewer and Water Main Contractors Association. And I especially want to thank Mark Wellstead, the Vice President of Amherst Cranes, with some of that beautiful equipment you see here behind me. Go ahead. Mark's a good man. Peter Smith, Executive Director of HCAT. Jamie Delato, Vice President of Amico Construction, has also donated some equipment you can see here. They build a lot of highways. They know what they're doing. Gary Dempster, District Manager, and also Local 793 member of Dufferin Construction. Please welcome Gary Dempster. Adam DeGasperis, VP of Operations from Condrain Group, a very large company, employs a lot of our people. And Rick Lagozo, Regional Vice President of GIP. Please welcome here to this great announcement as well. I want to thank the Premier and his cabinet for doing the right thing. This is going to be good for the prosperity of our province, and we just seem to be hitting, I don't know about the Blue Jays, but we're hitting a home run every single time we come up to the bat with this government on infrastructure investment. That's going to get this province going. Last week we had an announcement of $15 billion at Honda, and how do you think they're going to get their cars and products to market, electric cars, unless they have a highway to move it on? So thanks for the Premier for his leadership. Also in the Windsor Parkway project, which takes us to the border, the Gordie Howe Bridge. And I hear in the last few days we've had the announcement in the Garden City, twinning of the expressway down there to take us to the other border. So let's keep on going, building this beautiful province into prosperity, and keep up the job that you're doing. Thank you, Premier Ford.
You're the best, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to thank Premier Ford for his laser focus in getting this highway built. I can tell you the City of Brampton is excited for this highway. There's so many attributes of this highway that's going to make a difference for the quality of life in our city. The traffic, the gridlock. The only way you deal with gridlock and traffic in a community that's growing is you need this highway. Frankly, for investment purposes, when we're making pitches for businesses to come to Brampton, they look at the time it takes to get product to marketplace. This is critical. You know, we're a logistics center. We need to have this transportation corridor to be successful. And frankly, I want to add, for some of the politicians in other cities who already have their highways, who are complaining about the Highway 413, I don't see them offering to give up their highway. I don't see them offering to take on more traffic and gridlock in their cities. So it's almost an issue of equity. You can't say you want to see growth and housing and investment, but not have the transportation infrastructure there to support this. So I want to thank the Premier for not relenting, for having the full momentum to getting this highway constructed. And I can't wait to see shovels in the ground. Thank you, Premier Ford.
Thank you, buddy.
Morning, everyone. You know what? I had the pleasure of working on the first phase of the 407. And when they built that highway, that was supposed to fix all the traffic problems around the Toronto area and the GTA. It didn't. And now we're moving on to the 413. And I think we should all give it up here for the Premier, Doug Ford, and everyone else that's been put this together. And I also think, and I know, as a Labour leader, that we all should get our heads together and around about building the next highway, because the 413 obviously is going to be a goal. So let's all not allow this country to get into traffic jams again. We have a great government. I have a lot of faith on them, and I'm sure that once the 413 gets going, we'll be thinking about the next government, the next project, which will be a new highway somewhere to facilitate people to get home to their families on time, rather than spend their time on the roads waiting to get across. Anyways, good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here with you today and speak on the pivotal Highway 413 project and the importance of improving the infrastructure in the province of Ontario. LiUNA has been a long-time advocate for this project. Highway 413 representatives, a vital artery which will not only ease the commute for our members, but also ensures the seamless flow of material, equipment, and people power to our construction sites. In addition to the thousands of proud and skilled LiUNA Local 183 members who will be responsible for the construction, Highway 413 will also provide tremendous opportunity for much-needed apprentices to enter the skilled trades. We are committed to training and preparing the next generation of skilled trade workers who will continue to build our communities. I'm now pleased to introduce someone who shares LiUNA's commitment to the skilled trades and the next generation of skilled workers, the Minister of Labour and Training and Skill Development, David Piccini.
Thank you, Jack, for that kind introduction. Thank you, Premier Ford, for your strong leadership and for delivering the most ambitious infrastructure agenda in Canadian history. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. There are so many partners. You just heard some of the names mentioned. There's too many to name them all because so many people are behind this project. My caucus colleagues who are here today, municipal leaders, industry, associations, most importantly for me, labor, who are here in big numbers today. Premier Ford is reviving auto manufacturing and construction sectors that were ignored under the previous Liberal government with job-creating infrastructure projects like Highway 413. The days of paralysis by analysis are over in Ontario. The days of never-ending studies, bureaucratic red tape to find every reason to say no are over. For those men and women who work with steel-toe boots, hard hats, and lunch pails, we see you, we value you, and none of this is possible without you. I can proudly say today that the era of neglecting these hardworking men and women is over under the leadership of this Premier. Some folks see Highway 413 as just another road, but we know it's about people. It's about getting families home to spend more time with their loved ones. It's about economic prosperity, not just the tens of thousands of people who will save tens of thousands of hours to spend that valuable time with their family, but also the thousands of jobs created for Ontario workers. Over 3 million hours of paychecks to support Ontario workers and families. Just think about that, 3 million hours of work. Just look around us today. Look at the hundreds of unionized workers who are proud to build the 413, standing shoulder to shoulder with our government. These workers are the 413. And I want to take a moment, as Mayor Brown said, to speak directly to the politicians who oppose the 413. Look behind me. These are the workers you would be giving pink slips to. These are the workers you'd be putting out of work. But our government, under the leadership of this Premier, is proud to work each and every day for the workers of this province who build Ontario, who get up each and every day to build that prosperous province, to connect every corner of this province to ensure that Ontario is the leader of this province, the economic engine of this country, getting goods to market. The best days are yet ahead of us in this province. And under the leadership of this Premier, we're going to make it happen. And now I'm proud to turn things over to one of our incredible Labour partners, Joe Mancinelli.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure to see so many of our contractors, labor leaders, my brother and my friend Jack Oliveira, business manager of Local 183, but also of our provincial council, representing workers right across Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure to be here kicking off one of the most important infrastructure projects in the history of Ontario. You know, our 140,000 members in Ontario have been searching for leadership, and they found it with Doug Ford and the Ford government of Ontario. This is the kind of leadership that our members have been looking for. Leadership that produces jobs, leadership that protects investment in Ontario, leadership that creates $300 billion of investment coming into the province of Ontario, $180 billion into infrastructure that was neglected for decades in the province of Ontario, $30 billion for roads that this is not going to be the last one, I can assure you, with the leadership that we have in Doug Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of leadership that our members have been looking for. This is the kind of leadership that Ontarians have been desperate for. And here we have it. We have proof today that we're building a highway that will take people home, a highway that will create economic development on either sides of the highway. This is the beginning of something great. I'm glad that our members are here, our members from LiUNA, members from Local 793, members of labor that are anxious to get their hands dirty and build that highway. And after we build that highway, I can assure you that we're going to pave this parking lot as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure and an honor for me to introduce to you the Premier who is dedicated to Ontarians, who is dedicated to moving our province forward. Please give it up for our Premier, Doug Ford.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Joe, for that kind introduction. You know, Joe, you always talk about leadership. There's no better leader in this province than Joe. So thank you, Joe. Appreciate all your great work. And folks, I'm just thrilled to be here in the beautiful town of Caledon alongside our great ministers, Minister Piccini that you just heard from, Thanigasalam that you heard from, Tangri and Williams and MPPs, Deepak Anand, Sharif Sabawe, Rudy Cazzetto, Hardeep Grewal, Amarjot Sandhu, and Natalia Kusendova, and Graham McGregor. I love saying McGregor. And wow, what a fantastic turnout. You know what makes my days when I pulled in and I saw all the members back there? These are the folks that are building our province. And to start, I just want to thank some other people. There's a whole list of them, and I apologize if I miss you on this one, but I want to thank Suk and Dinesh from the Daytona Freight System for hosting us today right here. So thank you, Daytona. I appreciate it. And I couldn't ask for a better partner out there. I want to welcome Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown. I always say there's 444 municipalities, and we have great mayors, but this guy's a champion. He gets things done. Road Builders Association, Stephen from the Ontario Trucking Association, Michael from the Ontario Stone, Sand and Gravel Association, and Nadia from the Residential and Civil Construction Alliance of Ontario. And a big shout out to all our labor partners, Neil and everyone from the Iron Workers, Local 721. Thank you. And Mike and the workers from International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 793. And Jack, what a champion this guy is too, from LiUNA 183. So thank you, everyone. And of course, Joe, thank you for coming today. I think you have a bright future in politics, but man, you let the rubber hit the road. I wouldn't quit your job to get into politics, by the way. And of course, all the incredible members here from the local unions, thank you for joining us today. I always say, we can't build Ontario without you, our members, our workers in the skilled trades. And here in Ontario, we've embarked on the most ambitious capital plan in Canadian history, investing over $185 billion over the next 10 years. And I know that number is going to grow. Together, we're building new hospitals, schools, long-term care homes, energy, municipal water projects, and thousands of union workers here in the GTHA are on site building 5 new subway and rail projects. Folks, we're spending, and that's the largest in North America, by the way, we're spending over $80 billion on transit. And unlike previous governments that failed to invest critical transportation infrastructure, we're getting shovels in the ground for new roads and highways. Highways like the 413, friends, as you've heard today, Highway 413 is going to be a game changer for the region. You know what I love about this stat? Not only does it create thousands of jobs that we'll talk about in a minute, but it's going to reduce the travel times by 30 minutes. I know the minister said that as well. 30 minutes each way, saving drivers up to an hour per day and 5 hours per week, in one of the most congested corridors in North America. And Joe, you mentioned it. This isn't the end of it. We're going to continue building highways and roads, and we have more exciting announcements to come. And today, I'm thrilled to announce that construction on this highway will begin in 2025. And so where we're at, we're already starting field work and land acquisition that will help make sure we get shovels in the ground on time. By mid-May, we'll be hosting a market-sounding event with key private sector experts to discuss ways to move construction forward quickly and efficiently. We've begun planning for the release of the first early works construction contracts as we work with our labor and industry partners to create good-paying jobs for Ontario workers. And folks, I just want to say how excited I am about what Highway 413 is going to mean for everyone, our members, people in this whole surrounding region, right across Ontario. It's expected, this is what I love, it's expected during construction, this project will support 3,500 jobs each year and add $350 million to Ontario's GDP. We're going to need, and this is just a fraction of them, I'm probably missing, this is about 1/10 of the people, but here we go. We're going to need drilling and coring contractors, concrete and steel workers, utility contractors, environmental specialists, heavy machinery operators, and I could go on and on and on, just like Marco Ameto, two young people here today. Where are they? That's all right. They're here somewhere. I met them first at Queen's Park years ago, and they were young and they had aspirations of getting into the trades. This is our first week on the job, and we're going to need all hands on deck to get it done. Friends, we made a promise to the people of Ontario that we would build highways, homes, and infrastructure that our growing province needs. Not just Highway 413, but the Bradford Bypass, Lausanne Expressway down in Windsor, Highway 3, Highway 1117. You see construction on every road you go on, every Highway 401, QEW, but we're going to keep building. The Ontario line, which is the largest transportation project with the 4 other lines in North America, Better Go service and other projects across Ontario. And friends, today, announcement shows that we're keeping our promise, that we're getting it done. And we can't do it without you, our great members, our great workers across the province. Once again, I want to thank all of you, all of our union partners, our hardworking women and men for joining us today. And we look forward to building the 413 and to build Ontario. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario.
We'll now go to reporters' questions. If reporters could please line up with the microphone behind me and identify yourselves by name and outlet. It'll be one question and one follow-up. First question.
Where are we going here? Okay.
Hey, good morning, Premier Colin DeMello from Global News.
Hi, Colin.
Just a shout out to the construction workers who are standing in the rain. Sorry, guys, we'll try to keep this quick.
Yeah, they're champions. Thanks, Colin.
Premier, a question about Sean Webster, who's heading up a new office in Ottawa. What is he going to be paid?
Well, I'll get that figure, and I'll be very frank. I don't know off the top of my head. I leave it with the chief of staff to determine the salaries. But Sean's quite experienced when it comes to private sector business and government. He's going to do a great job advocating for the people of Ottawa and all 444 municipalities when they come into Ottawa. And I know the trades are in Ottawa yesterday, and some police associations were there, but many other organizations. I can tell you, you have a home. And it's not just Sean, but we have some Ontario Provincial Service folks that are in Ottawa to advocate to the federal government, and it's long overdue. We should have done this, and other governments should have done it years ago.
Thank you. We've been seeing a trend across the United States, Montreal, BC as well, with encampments on university grounds, specifically related to the Israel-Hamas conflict. I'm wondering what you're prepared to do in this province should there be more of these encampments or any encampments that are popping up on university grounds. Do you have a message for those people, and is the province prepared to act in any way?
Well, you know, I have all the confidence in the world in our university and our university security, our university police. You guys don't interrupt some students' graduation. Don't interrupt the students from learning, and you know, we just support our students. So let them learn, and just don't cause any problems there. That's all I ask. Everyone should be living peacefully. I can't stand all this conflict. I just hate it, to be honest with you. We live in a province, 110 nationalities, or 110 nationalities from all over the world, 200 languages being spoken. I could walk behind me and I could see the League of Nations, everyone working together, living together, and they're just absolute champions. So this is a place around the world that you can come here, and it's very peaceful and very diverse. So we need to get along. Can't stand conflict like that.
Good morning, Premier. My name is Manan Gupta from Road Today, and welcome to all the dignitaries and labor union leaders on this historic occasion. My question is for Minister Piccini. You know, this region, Peel region, is known as the logistics capital in Ontario, in Canada, but unfortunately, we have also seen rising incidents of wage thefts in many of the upcoming industries, especially in the logistics industries. You being the Minister of Immigration and Labour, what kind of efforts are being made to stop that abuse so that young workers, those who want to join the industries, they can be ensured with fair practices? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. First, I want to say, obviously it goes without saying, as we create these incredible infrastructure projects, create the conditions for economic growth, we want to make sure that the workers doing it are protected. We have some of the strongest occupational health and safety measures in all of North America, and I'm pleased to say, and I'll tease it and break it with you, but I'll be introducing next week measures in the legislature that will make Ontario introduce the toughest measures under the Employment Standards Act regarding wages to protect workers, to protect their wages, and that sends a clear message to any employer that would undercut wages to the workers, that you're not welcome in Ontario, and that we recognize that an Ontario that doesn't work for workers doesn't work at all.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. My follow-up is related to the job-ready future. You know, recently there has been many changes in the international student program, especially impacting colleges and universities here in Ontario. So how is your ministry aligning with Ministry of Colleges and Universities to bring in job-ready courses so that our youngsters are, again, supporting the economy?
Well, I'm excited that you mentioned that. As the Premier's always said, you know, if you want to work, as so many who look to Ontario to seek a brighter future, if you want to work in this province, you're welcome here. And we've launched the largest skills development fund in Canadian history, over $1.5 billion that are helping people earn better jobs, bigger paychecks. And that's helped countless number of workers. You know, in fact, I look behind me and I see Skills Development Fund. I've been to some employer appreciation events in Grimsby just the other day. I saw firsthand the equipment helping workers. I've seen programs like Hammerhead's youth program in Toronto, you know, building up. Some of the incredible programs that I've seen targeting racialized workers, people from socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds, ensure that they have access, jobs into the trades. And you know what? Many of them are behind us today, proud members of these labor unions and earning incredible jobs, providing for their families. So we'll keep doing that, making sure we provide the skills and opportunities for Ontarians of all creeds, color, religions.
Thank
you. Good morning, Premier. This is Nitin Chopra from Prime Asia TV.
How are you?
Thank you, Premier.
Thank you.
Without highways, we cannot move forward. That's sure. And there were so many up and downs to get this highway. There were so many controversies. Did you take all the opposition parties on board? They might be happy with this development because, again, without highways, without infrastructure, as we have more immigrants coming into this country, without development, we cannot move any further. So opposition parties are on the board. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for that question. We knew it was popular as anything. We ended up winning every single riding in the 905, one of our number one promised us was building the 413, and it gets people from point A to point B. You know, there's only a couple people that were against building the 413. Bonnie Crombie is against building the 413. She was against giving better paychecks and better jobs to these hardworking people, and she's on the wrong side of this. It's very simple. And then Merritt Stiles is another one, you know, that doesn't believe in building. We believe in building. We're going to be investing over $185 billion in infrastructure throughout the entire province. There's one thing people love to see is hospitals getting built, schools getting built, long-term care getting built, highways, roads, and bridges getting built. That's what we're going to do, and we're getting it done. And I'm very grateful for the team that has showed up today. And this is just a fraction of them that are going to be building the transit system throughout the province here.
Premier, recently we had seen the biggest gold heist here in Ontario in Canadian history. Our police forces, they catches the criminal, but before they do a press conference, the criminals, they were out enjoying their gem life. We had seen same for the extortionists also. Yeah. So recently, Peel Services Board, they wrote to the Justice Minister. Our Mayor, Patrick Brown, he used to write the letters to Justice Minister, but now situation is, recently he had to go to Ottawa to get the scanners. Is that not too late to act? Because with the car thefts, we lost $1 billion annually every year. Yeah. In last 5-6 years, we have not got scanners. We have not got changes in criminal code. We have got no bail reforms. So whose accountability is this? And is that not a mockery of our system when we see these revolving doors? Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And I just have to correct you. It's the second biggest heist I've ever seen. The biggest heist was when the Liberals were in power for 15 years. They took billions and billions of dollars out of people's pockets. But as for the people that did this big gold heist, throw them in jail. And I just have to remind everyone, the federal government controls the criminal code. But a lot of these people that are kicking in doors, putting guns to people's heads, you know, the heist alone, keep them in jail. Don't give them bail, and then it might deter them the next time around when they decide to go steal someone's car or kick the doors in and violently terrorize neighborhoods. I have zero tolerance for it, and that's the reason I always say we're going to make sure we have judges that are tough on crime, not judges that will let people out not once, not 3 times, 4 or 5 times to repeat the crime again. Thank you.
Hi there, Alan Hale from Queen's Park today. This morning, Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew apologized for his comments in front of the courthouse after Umar Zamir trial, where he said that he and other officers in the police service had been hoping for a different outcome. He now acknowledges that was inappropriate. And I'm just wondering what you think of that apology, and considering the concerns that have been raised about police conduct or testimony in this trial, and how the judge saying that they might have possibly colluded in their story, which didn't match the physical evidence. What should be done to help raise confidence in the impartiality of the police from the provincial level?
Well, I can't comment on the chief's words, but I can tell you it's a very sad situation what happened on all fronts, including Constable Northrop, that isn't here with us. I had an opportunity to speak to his family many times. My heart breaks for them. It's a sad situation, and hopefully that will never happen again. But I can tell you one thing: I support our police 1,000%, and I'll never waver from supporting our police.
Milton, your PC candidate Milton Zihamid told voters a few weeks ago that he had dinner with you where you two discussed the Campbellville quarry, and you promised that the project would not allow it to proceed. Hamid said that, quote, "Last night I went with the Premier for dinner, and I asked him, what should I tell them? And he said, I'm going to keep my promise. It's not going to happen." Is that story true? Or did Mr. Hamid mislead Milton voters when he told them that?
No, Mr. Hamid didn't mislead anyone. We're fortunate to have a great candidate, I should say, like Z. We're out there door knocking day in and day out. It's in front of environmental assessment right now, And then after the EA is done, we'll sit down with the community. But I always believe if communities don't want something, then we don't do it. If they do, then we move forward with it. But let's sit down and get the EA done with. But I am so blessed to have a candidate like Z in Milton. He's doing very well. I've never went door knocking with a candidate, and I've done a lot of door knocking, that every single door knows who he is. And Milton needs a loud voice down at Queen's Park, and I'm confident that he's going to be successful on Thursday, and he'll have a seat down at Queen's Park representing the people of Milton.
This will be the last reporter.
Good morning, Mr. Premier. Jamie with City TV. Going back to the keffiyeh ban, you're seeing it spread to other places, other events. The House Monday, the NDP are also talking about having some sort of protest with the keffiyeh ban, about the keffiyeh ban. Is there something you can do to trump this and prevent this becoming a big issue everywhere?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks, Jamie. You know how the House works down there. The legislature is run by the Speaker of the House. He makes the decisions. He's made that decision, and hopefully he's going to have to deal with it one way or another. Do you know what I want to focus on? I want to focus on building Ontario. I want to focus on building the roads and the hospitals and the schools, and get the economy moving even quicker than it is right now. That's what I'm focused on. That's what the people want to see, and that's what we're going to do as a government. That's it? We good?
One more.
Yeah, one more. Okay.
And Mr. Premier, last night a serious accident happened on the 401. Everyone believes, or early indications, it was a police chase. A rented van was involved, oncoming traffic. 4 people have died. First of all, police chases always end up being horrific accidents if they continue. Your thoughts, and can we move forward on this police chase and just have them banned?
Well, thanks, Jamie. My heart goes out to the family, and my condolences go out to them. It's heart-wrenching when you see everyone from a grandfather to a little baby that lost their lives because someone decides to rob a liquor store and go on the other side of the highway. It's a tragedy, and we're going to do everything we can to equip our police that there won't have to be high-speed chases. And one of the reasons we're getting helicopters for police agencies around Ontario just to support them. But this is a tragedy, just such a sad situation for the family. And yeah, that's what I have to say on that one. But anyways, folks, let's continue building Ontario. I appreciate all the members behind me, the Labour leadership that's showing up today. This is going to change people's lives, and we're very, very grateful. As we say, let's get her done. Thanks so much. God bless you.